button. It usually takes, what, 30 seconds or so? All right, we've got my Instagram button there. We should be good now. Hello, everybody. Good morning. What time is it where you are? Hey, good morning. Welcome. Can I gritty? I don't think I can. So I've set the Instagram topic to be what's the worst weight loss advice you've ever heard, so that we can break through some of it. We've got one meal a day. Because I'm so fat, I can fast for about 2 weeks. Who here has ever been told, "Oh, you've got enough weight on you, you can just stop eating"? Does that ever come across your plate? Hi from New York. I'm from New York. Fantastic. The 631 area. If that means anything to you. And Avery, my good friend Avery. My goodness, am I glad to see you. Hey, Mike, looking to become morbidly obese, go reap the benefits of our social programs. I don't think anyone's going to help you necessarily. I think it actually tends to get a little bit worse. That all being said, salutations. Michael requires a strategy. That's going to be my new account. Is Michael requires a strategy. Wow, we've got a whole bunch of people over here on Instagram. I'm not sure if you guys have been here before, but just in case you haven't, I've lost 110 pounds, but I'm most proud of keeping the weight off. It was a struggle for a long time. Let me just move my window there. It was a struggle for a long time. I would lose the weight, I'd gain it, and I'd lose it, and I'd gain it, and I'd lose it, and I'd gain it. And I got tired of being good at losing weight. Who here is good at losing weight? A lot of you are shouting at me. No, I'm not good at losing weight. I'm not saying you're good at keeping it off. Are you good at losing weight? Part of being good at losing weight is gaining all the weight back. It's coming again. Am I going to play any tunes for it? If you're here in the first 15 seconds, Avery, you get to hear the tunes. Cats and Frappe. I'm great at gaining it. Yeah, hey, we're all good at gaining it, but some of us are actually pretty good at losing it. I was really good at losing weight. If you told me to lose some weight, if I set out to lose 20 pounds, I would do it. It was just a matter of the fact that I couldn't keep it off. Let's scroll through some of these Instagram comments over here to see what awful advice people have heard over the years. I've heard people say eating disorders aren't bad if you're overweight. The stigma against overweight people, just in general. I was at my least healthy when I was at my skinniest. When I was at my smallest, when I was accumulating all sorts of compliments and getting all sorts of questions, people asking me how I did it, that's when I was at my least healthy. For sure. I felt my least healthy at that point. I hadn't been to the doctor at the time, but I'm sure the doctor would have said, like, hey, you're killing yourself right now. That didn't matter because I was skinny. It didn't matter because I had a smaller body, and everybody wanted to know how I got it, and I didn't have the heart to tell them that, I just walked 7 to 10 miles a day and ate oxygen through a teaspoon. It wasn't for my benefit. It was against me in every capacity. My dad just asked me to lose weight because it'll help me walk better. I have CP. So, is that your goal? Is that something that you want to do? Is that something that you feel would be good for you? Or do you want to address the things that are, So, by the way, a lot of people who are overweight tend to have different comorbidities that people will say, well, just get rid of the weight and that'll end. Or that'll stop. And that's not always the case. There's we were just talking in the Discord today, which if you're not in the Discord, you need to be, about sleep apnea. Yes, losing weight can certainly help alleviate some of the symptoms, but I had sleep apnea when I was morbidly obese, and I still have it today. Have the symptoms lessened a little bit? Sure, but that doesn't fix it. I've not gotten rid of it. It's still all there. Got a lot of very kind comments over here. People saying hi, Mike. Hey, Kayla, glad to see you. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad to see you here. Fantastic. I'm not sure if you're still here, but I'm glad that you were. Either way, whether or not whether you're here every day with me, which some of you are, or you pop in once every couple of months, I'm just thrilled to see everybody, uh, doing something to be kind to themselves. And if being here with me is something that you're going to do to be kind to yourself today, I'm grateful for it. Hello from Canada, Smitty. Glad to see you, buddy. Matty P's here. Sarah's here. Sarah, you're fantastic. I'm so glad you're here with us. V-Shred is, yeah, so if you guys are familiar with Scotty K Fitness, he always says, seriously, fuck V-Shred. Is that a good Scotty? I don't have the mustache, but yeah, V-Shred, he's just, what's it called? Not Enneagrams. It's, like body types, which is something that has been, like, you've heard of ectomorph and endomorph and mesomorph, that kind of thing. If there's anything in your head that's still holding on to that being fact, it's not true. None of that is at all true in any capacity. Doing something to suit your specific body type is bullshit completely. And that's what V-Shred is all about. That and all other fare of terrible things. But yeah, bad time. And relies on the false assumption that carbs and not calories are the source of fat gain. Just like basically just using all of the shitty advice from the 80s. Stuff that we don't listen to anymore. At all. By the way, on Instagram, if I'm missing your comment, it's not because I didn't want to read it. It's because I'm having trouble reading the comments on Instagram, which is why I've migrated over to Twitch. You can find me on Twitch, and I will see every single comment that I see on Twitch for the time being. But we are growing very quickly over on Twitch. So I would love for you to join us over on Twitch. It's Mike Needs a Plan over there, and I'll get to read your comments. There. Well, there's a guy who's like the face of it. Yeah, he's awful. It's also the influencer clowns. Just reading through the V-Shred stuff. You sent me the kindest voice message on Instagram a few months ago. It meant so much. And it was just what I needed to hear. I'm sure you don't remember it, but thanks for being you. You are correct. I don't remember that one specifically. I try to send out, I can't respond to everybody, but when I do, it's often through voice messages because, I don't know, it just feels a little bit more personal, and it's also much easier for me to talk than it is to text. But, I don't know, it's just one little thing that I can do for somebody that makes them happy, and I don't know what kind of an effect that's going to have on someone. But I know that if they're reaching out to me, they probably would like to be heard. You probably wanted to be heard, whatever your message was to me. I'm just thrilled that I was able to help you by reaching back out to you. Oh my goodness, my grandma killed her kidneys on Slim Fast. You can do horrible damage to your body. I did horrible damage to my body. I've got a heart condition and my lungs don't work. And I also have low blood pressure and low blood sugar and all that kind of stuff. I cannot be fasting. I cannot be severely restricting my calories. It's super, super dangerous for me. I need to be eating food. It's not like, other people that just handle fasting better. It's just they're not going to hurt themselves as badly, as quickly as many of us. But there's no version of extreme calorie restriction without consequences, whether that be mental or physical. Turmeric is not useless. It'll dye all sorts of stuff orange. It used to dye my tongue orange. I was through the turmeric phase. I tried everything. I tried the Walmart pills, the diuretics, the fat burners, where there's just a bunch of asterisks like stars in the sky all over that box so that they can legally sell their bullshit. Absolutely awful. I want to show it to my friends so bad, but they get triggered easily and usually say no when it's to do with weight loss because I think your stuff would really help them. If ever your friend comes to you asking for something, you send my video along. Until that moment, don't mention anything in terms of weight loss or trying to fix anything or trying to get better or something. If you want to help your friend, the best thing you can do is create opportunities. So I'm not telling you, you need to go and take a walk or you need to eat healthier. Make them a meal that they might enjoy. Or, plan an event for you and your friend. And I'm not saying hey, let's go for a walk or something. Go to a concert or it's carnival season right now. You know, you can go, or I think I just said concerts before. There's all sorts of stuff that you can do that'll get you and your friend active that don't feel like, hey, you're fat and we're doing this against your fat. Like, help enrich that friend's life. That's what friends do. And that's a great thing that you could do for your friend. Mike, when are we co-marketing a supplement capitalizing on the sacred trust you've built with hundreds of thousands of people? I have laid forth explicit instructions to everyone who's been with me for a while that if ever I start to sell a supplement, that is one of two things needs to happen. One, you send help, or two, you kill me. And there's no in between. You don't buy it. No one buys it. If Mike needs a plan, start selling supplements, do not buy it. Don't buy one. Either send help or kill me, whichever one you think is more appropriate at the time. Worst advice, stop eating at night because it's the biggest reason for weight gain. I just finished my dinner. It is 10:21 Central Time here, and I just had a 750-calorie dinner, and it was very filling, tasted delicious. This is usually around the time that I'm eating my dinner, around 10 o'clock. I've kept my weight off for years. I'm doing great. And I'm not like just holding the balance like everything's going to come back if I'm not careful. Let's swing back over to, I'm going to scroll through some of these comments over here. By the way, if I miss your comment on Instagram, it's because I'm getting absolutely bogged down with join notifications. So if you want to see, if you want your comment seen, you got to come over to Twitch. It's Mike Needs a Plan on Twitch. So let's go back over to my friends over this way. Let's see what we got. Turmeric makes good curry. Definitely doesn't make good weight loss, but makes good curry, that's for sure. It'll dye your entire counter yellow if you don't try it hard enough. Yeah. Hey, you migrated from Instagram. Fantastic. Misunderstood too. Oh, you've been here for a while. I'm glad to see you back. Welcome, welcome. I remember when I told you that your before and after picture was the first proof I saw that you could beat obesity after reaching a certain size. I'm eternally grateful for that, Mike. Oh, wow. I don't remember that specifically, but I thank you for reminding me of it, because what a powerful thing that was. That's huge. There were role models on my journey, namely Chris Terrell, who some of you guys, I'm actually going to be seeing Chris Terrell in person next week. We're going to be hanging out. So if you're a fan of Chris Terrell and you're a fan of me and you want to see the two of us in the same room together, you'll see that here shortly, and I'm thrilled for the opportunity. We've been trying to get something together for a while, but we're both so busy. And I was supposed to drive up to his place in June, but my car broke down. And then he visited Dallas, but I was out of town, so we ended up not being able to connect there. If you guys like Chris Terrell, you'll see us together soon. If you don't know him, go find him. You'll love him. That's for sure. But back to King Edward, he was one of the guys that really proved to me that I would have been able to do it. Because it was somebody that looked like me, sounded like me, and had the results that I had not yet had. But he talked about weight loss not from the perspective of here's the best way to lose weight, here's the best way to do it. There's a secret third thing. And it wasn't weight gain, it wasn't weight loss, it was weight management. It was staying exactly where I was. And I was like, well, shit, I haven't really necessarily been happy anywhere, but I'm certainly not happy going up. I'm certainly not happy going down anymore because I was, in a dangerous position there. Mike, do you remember? Avery, trust me, I think about that every day, every single day. I'll let everyone... Oh, wow, we've got a whole bunch of new people joining the Twitch here. We've got Near Sparrow. We've got XP Brianna. I'm glad to see you. Do I have to lift weights to lose weight? No. I wish I had done some kind of strength training along my journey because I would have maintained the muscle mass that I burned off my body by starving myself. But you don't need to go to the gym. I didn't use the gym at all during my 110 pounds. I wish I could eat healthily with the same dedication I had only eating cereal. Well, you got to find something you enjoy like cereal. And I know that seems kind of strange to you right now. I know it seems like it's impossible, but like the dinner that I just had, there was like 65 grams of protein in it. There's real cheese. I don't skimp on the cheese. I'm not doing that reduced fat bullshit. I want real cheese. It's the triple cheddar from Aldi, and it's goddamn delicious. And there's pasta in there. and I've got some like good spices. I've got some hot sauce in there. It's a mess of a meal. It's like a chicken mac and cheese, and I love it. I've been having it pretty much most days of the week for 2 years now. 2 years, year and a half, something like that. Find meals you enjoy. I don't enjoy the idea of eating an entire cheesecake anymore. It just like the feeling of it makes me sick. I love cheesecake. Don't get me wrong. I will never pass up a good slice of cheesecake. I'm not talking about that shitty stuff from the grocery store. I'm talking about a real slice of cheesecake. I will never pass it up, and I'm certainly going to pass up going in and having 10 of them like I used to, where I would eat 8 to 12 slices in a single sitting. You guys know those samplers that would come in those plastic snap packs? And you open it up, and there's like, you've got the turtle, you've got the chocolate, you've got the raspberry, you've got the plain. And I would eat an entire cheesecake over a period of time like that. By the way, if you see me itching my nose, it's because of this fucker right here. I think you might be able to see her behind me. I am dying because I'm inside and there's no ventilation right now. Oh, but I love her, though. I do. Can you sell a fake supplement to get back on the Instagram feed? You're Danny, aren't you? You must be, because if you're not, you just might have the what's it called? The good ideas like Danny does. I wish I had some good words like you do, because maybe I might be able to speak a little bit better. Kayla says, I understand the cereal comment. It's just really hard when you know it exists out there and you're sitting there with your healthy food. Why not have both? I have Cinnamon Toast Crunch in my pantry right now. I've got the Aldi brand Cinnamon Toast Crunch because I'm a cheap bitch. But I have Cinnamon Toast Crunch in my vicinity now. Right now. Why? Because it's delicious. And I don't want to not have it. But it's also just not satisfying to me to only eat that. Like, I usually mix it into my Greek yogurt, not because I'm trying to be healthy, but because I love it. And then I'll mix some sugar-free Jello pudding mix in there, and it just makes like this nice, thick, delicious pudding that's every bit as satisfying to me as ice cream. By the way, I'm not skimping on ice cream. When I want ice cream, I go ahead and have it from a real shop that makes it in the store. I don't settle for the shit from the grocery store anymore. I won't do it. It's not good enough. If I really wanted to have a pint of Ben & Jerry's, I could. But I'm not a cheap date anymore. I know I said I'm a cheap bitch. I'm a cheap bitch, but I'm not a cheap date. So, God damn it, if I want a slice of cheesecake, I'm going to have one. That was made in a kitchen, not a lab. Because I don't like sugar on sugar anymore. It doesn't taste good to me. I think I tricked myself into feeling like it tasted good when it really didn't. I know that. I know Sarah knows that. And I know Danny knows that. And I know Near Sparrow knows that. I know Emmy knows that. Hey, Emmy, what's going on? Glad to see you. Emmy's been around since like day one for me. Incredible that you're here. I love that you've been around so long. Potato soup. Hi, do you have any tips to help with a binge eating disorder or just eating because you're bored? So, are you asking like what the difference is between them, or are you asking how to stop binging? Because there's going to be two different answers to that one. I don't want to give you the wrong answer. Yes, it's hard to break the all or nothing mindset. Incredibly hard, especially when we feel like food is the enemy, for sure. I'm not sure how to pronounce your first name here, but I like the fact that part of it is adventures. Hello, it is my first time here for a live, but I see your stuff on Instagram all the time. Oh, that's you are unique in that instance. Thank you for spreading kindness on the subject matter. It is incredibly helpful and motivating for myself to try and be a little healthier. Well, thank you for coming here, and thank you for sharing that with me. Excuse me, I just drank a lot of carbonation. Everybody, tell me one way that you've been kind to yourself this week. What's 9 plus 10? 21. Keep preaching, Mike. You provide an awesome clarity. Well, you provide awesome support, and I'm very grateful that you're here. And I'm grateful that I recognize your face. I'm grateful that I recognize faces and names. That's crazy, because that means people keep coming back to me. Why do you keep coming back? Texas Crew. We got Texas Crew in here. Amy says, I need to get my broken self to a therapist to keep on track. I'm so much in my own way. I'm going to give you the second piece of it. I'm not going to give you the first piece of it. You're not broken. You might need something. It doesn't mean you're broken. If you had a dog with a broken leg, would you say that's a broken dog? Or would you be like, oh, shit, we got to take care of this dog? You know, let's get him into the vet. Let's take care of him. Or it doesn't mean they're useless. It just means they need help. That all being said, that mindset of saying, well, I'm just useless right now, I'm broken, you are in your own way. You don't need to be, but you are. And I know that that's not your voice either. A lot of us will punish ourselves for the benefit of others or the benefit of people that put those thoughts into our head, not to the benefit of ourselves. Because guess what? Punishment hasn't worked yet. Punishing yourself has not. When was the last time it worked? Everybody here, let me know when the last time punishing yourself worked for you. Doesn't have to be a big thing. Just when was the last time you punished yourself so good that you saved the day? And everybody was so grateful that you punished yourself so well and good. Like, God damn, what a great job being hard on myself. I accomplished so much today. I may or may not have access to radioactive materials. This went way south for Emmy. You went for I don't know if you should be helped or detained at this point. We've got all people talking about Texas right now. You live in the Texas of Canada. What is the Texas of Canada, Smitty? I do like marinating some chicken in salad dressing. I don't know how to calculate the added calories, but I'm imagining not a lot of dressing is on there at the end. Honestly, you just do your best. Just do your best. That's it. Do whatever. To the Twitch only. If you want to have your comment read for the next 10 minutes, I would love for you to come over to, what's it called? Come over to Twitch. Because, it looks like I'm frozen on Instagram, though. Not sure there's much of anything I can do about it, but if it's going to be a Twitch-only stream, it's going to be a Twitch-only stream. I keep telling people, come on over to Twitch. That's where we're going to be. That's where all the cool kids are. So let's get back over to Twitch, where all the cool kids are. Sofa Jenk says, I cleaned my room this week, and I'm just feeling really productive and good about myself. Fantastic. All right, so we're already getting some stuff about, didn't starve yourself this week. That's huge, especially for me. I had big bouts of starving myself over the years, and it was the worst thing that I'd ever done for myself. Where can I find a Machamp to catch and then train me? That's fun. Hold on. Everybody, tell me what your favorite Pokemon is. Mine is this guy. Ditto. He's signed by, there was back in my stand-up comedy days, there was a podcast, my favorite podcast to this very day. It's called the Playable Characters Podcast, and the conceit of that was that it was these two guys that would interview video game characters. It was all comedians. But they were talking to the video game characters as if they were real entities to be interviewed, and so it was kind of like an improv thing. And I went on there 4 times. One of the times I was depressed ditto, and I had just escaped the breeding facility, and I was talking about the horrible exploits that I was put through. Sarah's being kind to herself by honoring cravings and making myself good food instead of settling for convenient trash. Well, you make some good food, though. By the way, if you guys want some good culinary advice, come over to the Discord and hang out with me and Sarah, because she's got the hookup. The good ways to feel fancy. Let's keep going. You did a hard thing the other day in Dallas. Want to overcome my fears by going to the Reunion Tower. Where are you in Dallas? I'm in Dallas. Mike, I've been kind to myself by refusing to give in to the minimum for a party, but I only drank one. Good for you. You drank what you wanted to have. You don't need to drink as much as everybody else is drinking around you. Some of you may have seen my post about alcohol yesterday or today. I don't know when it was. But I had said that you've sort of been tricked into believing that alcohol is better than it is. I'm not telling you to not have it. I'm just telling you that most people think that the only way to enjoy it is to have a lot of it, which is not true about anything. It's not true about cheesecake. Found that out the hard way. It's not true about cinnamon rolls. I found that out the hard way. It's not true about ice cream. The last time I had a pint of Ben & Jerry's was in 2020. I ate 5 pints of Ben & Jerry's in one sitting. because I was so mad at myself that I couldn't stop that I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to smoke the whole pack and make myself sick of it. And I made myself sick of it. I made absolutely certain. I've got a picture of it there where I'm just sitting in front of 5 empty pints of Ben & Jerry's. I'll have to post that someday soon. How much protein does an elephant have? Probably a lot. I would assume there's a lot of fat content there, too. You conquered your fear of heights. Oh, I know exactly where you were then. You were in that dome thing, right, with the ball on top of it? There's a restaurant in there, I think. I drive past, I'm like 15, 20 minutes away from that. Not even. It's a fun game to try to match between Twitch and Discord. Texas of Canada is Alberta. I'm trying to catch up on the comments here. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit behind. George is here. Hey. By the way, I've been meaning to message you over on Instagram. I haven't gotten the chance to, so I may as well just tell you here because I wanted to reach out to you specifically, not just in the chat, but I just wanted to say how grateful I am for not only your participation there and how much advice you give to other people and how much support you're giving to everyone in the Discord, but just in how much you've grown in the time that I've known you. So it's because I know a little bit of your story. I know you've shared some of the stuff that you've done and the stuff that you've been through, and it's to see the kind of demeanor that you have about a topic that had long been very difficult for you. It's inspiring to me as someone who's still recovering, and I know it's inspiring to a lot of people in our little group. So thank you for being a major part of it, and thank you for being kind, not just to others, but to yourself. It's just a wonderful thing that you do. So let's say hi to everybody. We got Mo, M-O-E-O, Mo Martin. 180 centimeters, 116 kilograms, 20 years old. You reckon I'll have a lot of loose skin? Not going to stop me from losing it. Well, stick with that second part there. I've got a little bit of loose skin on my own. People ask me if I have trouble with loose skin. I don't have trouble with it. Do I have it? Yeah. It's not a lot. I got very lucky with my midsection, but like anywhere you pull on my neck, I'm just like, I have the beard because I have a lot of loose skin around my neck. I feel like when I look down, there's just like rolls that people would have normally. I've got like a little thing here. So like the beard is a better choice for me. I carried like 50 of my 110 pounds in my face. It was any time that I gained weight, it would just go straight to my face, and even to this very day, like the rest of my body is skinny, and I just have like a large head. So like that all being said, I wouldn't have rather done this any other way. Don't worry about it. Lose it slowly. Give the collagen in your skin the best chance that it can to repair. Stay hydrated. Go slowly. Go slowly. Go slowly. And be kind to yourself, please. Let's keep on keeping on. How long was I overweight? I was probably overweight for... I don't even know. That's not a thing where I can think like, well, I was skinny and then I was fat. Like, I wasn't a big kid. It was as I started getting into young adulthood and adulthood is when my weight started to come on, because then I had like jobs and a little bit of money coming in, and that's when I started buying like all the junk food, so to speak, and the McDonald's and everything, because like I didn't really have I was well fed. It wasn't like a thing where I grew up needing anything. It was just more so that my family was very healthy and didn't quite have the taste for the stuff that I wanted to have when I was a kid, because we all want the fun food. So as soon as I got my own money, it was like, off to the races. I'm just gonna stuff myself silly with all that. Nations of wank. Nations of swank. I read that wrong. Nations of Swank. I read that as Nations of Wank. I'm like, love the name. That's fantastic. Maddie's here. I haven't been very active in Discord lately. That's okay. Pop on in. You never have to reintroduce yourself. If you've been gone for 2 months and you come back in, just act as though you weren't gone. It doesn't matter. because there's a solid chance that people are just going to be happy to see you. One, but no one's going to ever make you feel like, hey, look who just came out of their cave. Look who decided to come to the dinner table. It's never like that. And if it ever was like that, I would have to pull them off to the side and talk to them about it, because we don't do that here. And also, you can just lurk if you want to. You don't have to participate. If you just want to entrench yourself, immerse yourself around other people who are doing the thing that you'd like to do, and you're not necessarily in a place where you feel like you want to have that deep of a conversation, that's fine. If you just want to pop in and ask one question and then bounce and take the information that you learned and go along your way, that's okay too. Don't worry about it. However you choose to interact with our community is correct, unless you're mean. Don't do that. But anyhow, let's keep going here. Let's keep reading. So sweet of you to say that, Mike. That made my day. Well, you make my day. So thank you for being around, and thank you for doing what you do. Okay, and I wanted you to know that somebody sees it. Okay, it's not only like you're getting those good reactions from everybody, but like I see it too, and I just like you stick out in my head as a really important part of our ecosystem there. Thank you for doing all that. Reading Howl's Moving Castle, reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series for the umpteenth time. I haven't picked up a real book in a while. I'm usually just reading medical journals and articles and stuff like that to try to keep up on what's going on in weight loss, psychology, all that sort of deal. Excuse me. Oh, I put non-negotiable in caps to be kind to myself and others on my whiteboard. I'm going to mention. Hi, Mike. Are you reading Instagram comments right now? I'm having trouble reading them, so if you want your comment to be sure read by me, come over to Twitch. It's Mike Needs a Plan on Twitch. But anyway, misunderstood to many. Oh, I put non-negotiable in caps to be kind to myself and others on my whiteboard. I would like to offer a little rewrite there. This is something that I do with the people that I work with very closely, and that is. Instead of calling it a non-negotiable, which I feel is like very obligatory, it's something you have to do, and it's almost like an obligation. It's like mandatory. It like hurts. I call it a mandatory minimum because I feel that it gives it. What it does is instead of it being like just something you have to do, it's something that you deserve to have. A little bit different to me. Like, this is the minimum amount of things that I'm going to experience in a day, and my day does not get any worse than this. I may have a bad day, but there are things, my mandatory minimum of the things that I deserve to have in a day are these specific things. And they're not huge things. I'm not asking you to say, like, every day I have to have the most incredible experience in the world. That's an impossible standard to live up to. I'm talking more so like I'll give you some of my mandatory minimums, and I think that I may have spoken to Sarah. You might have heard this already, so I'm sorry if I'm rehashing here. Let me know if I haven't, because we'll get into this together. But like one of my mandatory minimums is I listen to a song that I like every day, and that usually turns into 2 songs and 3 songs, because there's no educational slant to that. I'm not learning anything from a song that I really enjoy. So one of my mandatory minimums is this is something that I'm going to do every day. Inalienable rights. Oh, that's fun. Okay, I like that one too. Yeah, it's basically the same thing, for sure. But one of my other inalienable rights, my mandatory minimums, is I have to be outside every day at some point. Why? Because I want to feel sunlight. I want to feel air. And because I work from home, I work from here at this desk and there on my couch. There's an innate possibility that I just don't feel sunlight for several days if I don't actually go out and do it. And I've recognized that even being outside for a minute, just feeling it touch my skin is like, it's a different thing for me. It changes my mindset. So that's important to me. That's one of my mandatory minimums. And something, looks like we lost Instagram. If you are watching on Instagram, come over to Twitch. I'm going to close the Instagram stream because there's stuff going wrong with it. And also I just don't care to read through all the notifications anymore. So please come over so I can read your comments. I will see you there. Be kind to yourself. Join the Discord if you haven't. I'll see you soon. All right, now that the kids are asleep, anyone want to whip out your dicks and whatever else you got if you don't have one? That's what adults do, right? I don't like the idea that adult content is always sex. Like, why can't it be like? Why does the adult store not have like a bouncy house that kids aren't allowed in? Why can't we just watch cool movies? And like, there's go-karts and stuff. I don't know. That's what the adult store should really be. Is it, oh, boobs, great. I can do that from here. I don't need to. I don't like. I think adults should be not sequestered to just cocks and balls and stuff. Anyhow, we're off of Instagram now. Kids are asleep, so. So let's go back into the things we were talking about before. And Mike, I think we briefly talked about the concept, but not specifics. Oh, cool. Okay, so you and I will talk about establishing mandatory minimums here. But one of my mandatory minimums is I'm going to make myself a good meal every day. Even if my meals are all quick. I don't cook anything that takes me a long time to cook. So, by the way, TikTok is where it is. If you're watching me on TikTok, I'm not able to see your comment. If you're leaving comments over there, so please come over to Twitch. I'm going to end that one too, so be kind to yourself. I think I'm also on YouTube right now, but we're reading here. We're reading on Twitch. That's where I want to be. Hey, Mike Needs a Plan. It says no text channels. I assume it won't let me have access on the Discord. Do I need a specific invite code? I don't know why that is. You should have immediate access. I don't think that there should be anything different there. For anyone who isn't a big fiction reader but likes easy reads /mindfulness/outdoors, Erling Kagge has been my go-to comfort author. He has a great book like Silence in the Age of Noise and Philosophy for the Polar Explorers. Probably going to pick one of those up again soon. I need to pick up a book that has nothing to do with psychology or weight loss or anything like that. Like I need to not just be educating myself constantly. It's great. Like I enjoy it. It's not something where I'm forcing myself to study. It's what I really truly enjoy. But I'm like, where am I under all that? I'm not just an educator. I'm not I'm not an educator at all. I'm just a friend that gets it and wants to be able to answer questions to the best of my ability. Because I've been given this microphone and this platform, I want to do something good with it. I need to do stuff that's just for me. And one of those things that's just for me, like one of my mandatory minimums I just did right before I got on here was I make my dinner every night. Now, when I'm not here, obviously that becomes a little bit more difficult. But if I'm staying somewhere, if I've got access to a kitchen, I'm getting groceries. It's like I'm that person. If it is at all expedient that I'm able to do so, I will do so. Because I like to do it. Something that I enjoy. Hey, Mike, I just wanted someone to know that I'm doing music stuff right now for like 9 hours a day, and I'm outside for like 6 of those. I'm exhausted but proud of myself. That's great. If there's ever any music that you want to share with the class, please send it over to Discord. There is a section specifically for people to share things that they've made and something that they're things that they're proud of, that they want people to see. So if that's something you want to share, if anyone's got creative or artistic endeavors or autistic endeavors that you would like to share, please do so. There's a member content section in the Discord. It's I think sort of toward the bottom, and it's its own section so that it's easy to find. And I would love for you guys to share anything that you make that you would like to have some more eyes on. Let's keep going. Nudity right off the bat. You know it. You know it. Mike, may I interest you in that wholly remarkable book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I've heard it's... Well, I actually have a copy of it. Well, my girlfriend's got a copy of it anyway. And maybe this is my sign to start reading it, and we have some kind of book club that we do. I don't know. I've been told that I need to read books. Do some kind of like audiobook thing. People tend to like listening to me. So if that's something that you guys want, lose everybody's interest. That's a great question. I'm not sure. That would be a welcome section. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, not being able to access the text chat thing. Yes to book club. I don't know how much I'll be able to keep up on the book club. I've got a book club thing tomorrow, but it's an educational book, and it's with some other coaches, because we're all doing stuff to improve our quality of coaching. So there's a book called Coactive Coaching that we're all using. The ultimate version is a compilation of the first 5 books. Okay, so I've got a bunch of books in here. Great. I've got 5 books. Hear you? No, just sit there silently reading, quietly giggling here and there. Okay, so this is going to be an audiobook where I read the entirety of The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but I don't read it out loud. I just read it silently to myself, and I remark on it through my reactions. There we go. Huh. What if I do? Do you want me to just commit to the bit? I want to go on Instagram and commit to the bit real hard and see how long that lasts before people are like, what's happening right now? Why is he doing this? A sensible chuck. Do you read Sensible Chuckle magazine, Smitty? 'Cause I love Sensible Chuckle magazine. Maybe I'll put a little bit of reverb on. Does that help with the sensualness of everything, or does that take it away? Does that make it worse? Got a solid huh in there. Yeah, spend quality time with the people you love. Get out of here. Don't hang out with me unless you have some kind of reason to do so. If you're getting something out of this, stick around. If not, if you think you're going to learn something tonight, I think we're already way off course. As soon as I log off of Instagram, I tend to leave the education behind. So don't you dare say commit to the bit to a theater kid. The phrase is tattooed on my heart. Oh, hey, former theater kid here, theater survivor, myself. Trust me, I get it. If I hear 5 seconds of Cole Porter, it's over for me. In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking, but now God knows, anything goes. He was tall, very tall. He had an air of cheerful diffidence. Oh, that's a cool word. He combined a razor-sharp intellect and understanding of what he was doing with a puzzled look of someone who had backed into a profession that surprised him in a world that perplexed him. And he gave the impression that, all in all, he was rather enjoying it. He was a genius, of course. It's a word that gets tossed around a lot these days, and it's used to mean pretty much anything. But Douglas was a genius because he saw the world differently. And more important, he could communicate the world he saw. Also, once you'd seen his way, you'd never go back. Douglas Noel Adams was born in 1952 in Cambridge, England, shortly before the announcement of an even more influential DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. He was self-described strange child who did not learn to speak until he was 4. He wanted to learn to be a nuclear physicist. I'd never made it because my arithmetic was so bad. And then went to Cambridge to study English with ambitions that involved becoming part of the tradition of British writers/performers, of which members of Monty Python's Flying Circus are best known examples. When he was 18, drunk in a field in Innsbruck, hitchhiking across Europe, he looked up to the sky filled with stars and thought, someone ought to write Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Then he went to sleep and almost, but not quite, forgot all about it. He left Cambridge in 1975 and went to London, where most of his writing and performing projects tended, in the main, not to happen. He worked with former Python Graham Chapman, writing scripts and sketches for abortive projects, among them a show for Ringo Starr, which contained the germ for Starship Titanic, was one of his albums. And with writer-producer John Lloyd, they pitched a series called Snow, Seven, and the White Dwarfs, a comedy about two astronomers in an observatory on Mount Everest. The idea was that minimum casting, minimum set, and we'd just try to sell the series on cheapness. He liked science fiction, although he was never a fan. All right, that was the first page. Nothing more sensual than the monster truck announcer, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Yeah, that is the biography. So I was told to read the prologue, and I figured that was probably it, wasn't it? Did that do anything for anybody? Was that something that I should do more of? I've been told to do audiobooks, and I can't see it, but we've got some unhelpful remarks from the author. It's called Unhelpful Remarks from the Author. You need to read a book talk book for all the ACOTAR girlies. I don't know what any of that. If you could tell me what that is, I can decide whether or not I would have to go to church about it afterward. I don't come here for learning. I come to spread shenanigans. Oh, perfect. Okay, then you're here in the proper time, because right now it's late, and I've cut off the Instagram stream, which means that we get to say fuck now. A Court of Thorns and Roses. Okay, is that a smut thing? Is that one of those things like, she released her boobs boobily, and the man unfurled his lengthy member as if a snake were to crawl from a tree? Like that kind of thing? Like, is it one of those where afterward I'm like, I don't know if I should pick up this book or burn it? Okay, so it is, Fey smut. Okay. So I've already, the kind of people who, want to know my star sign and stuff can confirm. Is that I need holy water to wash my eyes. Yeah, it's the kind of book that overuses the word throbbing. Exactly. Is it something where I would regret being there, or are the grounds fertile enough by which I could build a second career? Is this something I should be pursuing, or something that I should not have pursue me? The algorithm would love me again. Well, the thing is, I don't have the whatever that dreamy quality is that most people that get thirsted over have. Where you just look in people's comment sections and it's a fucking dog pound, that kind of deal. So I don't know if it would go over quite as well. The eyes of shining justice is throbbing. If you know, you know. Mike reads apron. What is apron? I don't know anything. Jinx, they're calling for you. You want to come over? Come here, baby. Thanks. Usually she won't leave me alone. The phrasing of a porn, it just tickles me. She's going to look like she doesn't want to be held, but she's just bad at being held and desperately wants it. Hey, baby. Say hi. Oh, she's cuddling now. Mike reads a porn, in which Mike reads a porn. Her colors are cute, aren't they? What's up, baby? What's up? Mike only needs fans. I'll tell you this, though. If ever I were to open an OnlyFans, I have I think it would be immediately popular. There are a lot of gay men who have made it very clear they would sign up day one. So if ever things start to go real wrong, um, you'll see me there. I'm a recent victim of the feline redistribution anomaly. This one was here when I got here, so can you stop being a little wiggly so people can see you? They want to see you. They want to see you. Say hi. Ugh. All right. This is what I'm dealing with right now. I'm so lost. She's okay. So she's just a big pillow. She's huge. She's like 13 pounds. Very huggable. Good to hug. Not a cuddler, not at all. She wants to be a cuddler, but what she'll do is she will, if you're laying down, she'll walk onto you, and then she won't sit down, and she'll just stand there. And it's awful. By the way, here you go. Did you hear that? Now she's pushing into my arms. In the mornings, she's awful. She will not stop talking. At 3 in the morning, every morning, I know it's 3 in the morning because she jumps up on my side of the bed and she has a little raspy meow that she has. And wakes me up and will not allow me to not pet her. Your fur baby turned 18 last month. My goodness. Incredible. Does she make biscuits, though? If so, I'll buy all of them. She does. Bean really makes more of the biscuits, but she's just, she hurts. She uses her claws. But she's one that she wants to sit on. Anywhere you are, she wants to be, and she will sit on you, and my balls just got sat on, stepped on, rather. It's a good thing that I don't want them to work. I did not want a cat. I somehow have and want said cat. Yeah, I've never wanted any pets because, same thing with human babies. I don't want to take care of anything. But I'm much happier with this than I would have been with a baby, a human kid. More adult content. Well, if adult content is like we get to ride on go-karts and stuff, which is what I was talking about before, and there's just no kids around, then yes, adult content it is. I'll make plenty of that. Calling them human babies sounds so alien. Yeah, because this is, strike 10,000 of why I shouldn't have children. The way that I talk about kids is like the way that I would talk about a rash. It's just like, yeah, I'm dealing with that again. And I've tried everything I can to get rid of it. It's real itchy. It's bothering me at night. Quite honestly, I'd be totally satisfied just amputating the damn thing. Oh, but you'd be great with kids. No, I wouldn't. Why? Because I don't fucking want one. I don't think anybody that doesn't want kids should have them. Human worm babies. Come here, you little human. Dad, where did I come from? My balls. Now go and do your homework. What? Oh. You can't see, but she's like buried in my arm right now. Oh, she's so good. This is exactly how raising teenagers feels. I can't even imagine. Also, thank you for being honest. Because so many people won't be honest. Like, no, it's the greatest joy you'll ever have. I knew these people before they had kids, and I know them after, and there's no life in their eyes anymore. I'm like, bro, the kids aren't here. You can just tell me that it's rough. I already know. Like, it's... This is my other rash, Sally. This is my first rash, Joshua. Parenting is extreme frustration and brief moments that make me so happy to have them. Yeah, I don't like taking care of me. When I have needs, I'm like, God damn it. Like when I have to poop in early in the morning every once in a while, because now my poop schedule is pretty regulated, quite honestly. I don't have the surprise factors anymore. But like every once in a while, I'm like, God, fuck, I have to pee at 2 in the morning, and then I have to get up, and I'm mad that I have to do it for myself. I can't even imagine having to clean up for someone else. Like, oh, someone shit themselves. I have to do something about it, and it's not even me. I could just go to the couch. or roll over and just leave it in the spot and try to scrape it away. I don't know. And if you're like, oh my God, Mike, this level of or lack of care is terrifying. This is very concerning. Yeah, this is why I shouldn't be a parent. If you want a good taste of that wholly remarkable book, try chapter 25 of the first book as a cold read. I'm just excited to see what you think, but it's your call. Sam, it always goes off the rails. You should know that by now. You've been with me long enough. Does it give me page numbers? Is it going to tell me chapter 25 of book 1? Holy shit. So I opened up the book. There's no page numbers, but I opened it up immediately to chapter 25. I don't know if this is first book chapter 25, but I opened it up to a chapter 25, which I think is remarkable. No, I'm looking back and I now see that there are other chapter 25s. So let's see if I can find. Okay. Does anybody want to hear me read the first page of chapter 25 of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Is that something that you crave? Or are you like, Mike, can we please talk about weight loss stuff again? Oh, chapter 26 is very short. Looks like chapter 25 is a bit more lengthy. Okay, chapter 24. Chapter 25. Thanks for the fun hangout time. Time to wind down and watch some 90s X-Men before bed. Oh, that's fun. Have a good night, you. We need the reverb. Does that help? Is that like worse or better? I've not put it up all the way. I've just put it up a little bit. So if that is adding to the experience or detracting, we'll see. There are, of course, many problems connected with life, of which some of the most popular are, why are people born? Why do they die? Why do they want to spend so much of the intervening time wearing digital watches? Many, many millions of years ago, a race of hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings whose physical manifestation in their own pan-dimensional universe is not dissimilar to our own, got so fed up with the constant bickering about the meaning of life, which used to interrupt their favorite pastime of Brocchian ultra cricket, a curious game which involved suddenly hitting people for no readily apparent reason and then running away, that they decided to sit down and solve their problems once and for all. And to this end, they built themselves a stupendous supercomputer which was so amazingly intelligent that even before its data banks had been connected up, it had started from I think therefore I am, and got as far as deducing the existence of rice pudding and income tax before anyone managed to turn it off. It was the size of a small city. Its main console was installed in a specially designed executive office, mounted on an enormous executive desk of the finest ultra mahogany topped, rich with ultra red leather. The dark carpeting was discreetly sumptuous. Erotic pot plants and tastefully engraved prints of the principal computer programmers and their families were deployed liberally around the room, and stately windows looked out upon a tree-lined public square. On the day of the great on-turning, 2 soberly dressed programmers with briefcases arrived, and they were shown discreetly into the office. They were aware that this day they would represent their entire race in its greatest moment, but they conducted themselves calmly and quietly as they seated themselves deferentially before the desk, opened their briefcases, and took out their leather-bound notebooks. Their names were Lunk-Will and Fook. For a few moments they sat in respectful silence. Then, after exchanging a quiet glance with Fook, Lunk-Will leaned forward and touched a small black panel. That was the first page. I'm going to say this. Holy fucking run-on sentence. God damn. I'm having trouble keeping up. There's just a lot of no periods for long periods of time, which, as somebody who is terrified of children, I like periods. So this book, I'm not sure is for me at the moment. Oh, the word was exotic. Well, you guys got me thinking of the inverse. You got me thinking of something else. Freudian slip. I'm sorry. I'm calculating comedic value in my head right now to optimize for content. Perfect. I'm glad. I hope that was enjoyable to anyone. It looks like we have no comments anymore, and we've lost half of our viewers. So I'm never doing that again. This was an interesting experiment. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad that we did this, and I know now that this is not a path that I should pursue, despite being told many a time that this is something that I should do. Probably for the best that I don't. That all being said, it's probably also not for the best that I continue on, because we've been here for an hour. It's 11:13, and I've got 6 calls I get to attend tomorrow, and I'm thrilled for that fact, because not one of them is a call that I don't want to take. I am blessed with the opportunity to get to talk to so many people that I genuinely enjoy getting to talk to. And it's something that I not only take great pride in, but I take great enjoyment in doing. So it's just a wonderful opportunity that I get to have. That being said, I will be talking for 6 hours straight. So I should probably rest my head and thusly my voice. Thank you all for being here with me. I appreciate it tremendously. I think all of you are from the Discord, so I don't need to plug shit to you. What else could I tell you? I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? Anything you're thinking about? Anything you're proud of? Anything you're not proud of? Anything that you just want to get off your chest? You have a confession? That stays between us, because we're not streaming to anybody else but Twitch and YouTube. So I'd love it if you shared anything with me. Thank you for keeping me company, Sarah. By the way, speaking of company, I'll be talking to you tomorrow, I think, right? Just fantastic. I love getting to talk to you. And King Edwards over here, thanking me for the company. Thank you for your company. Kate, thank you for being here. Smitty, thank you for being here. Hey, Mike, how do you value your own intelligence? I value more so my curiosity. I don't know if I would say I'm necessarily intelligent as I am curious and willing to admit that I don't know things. And through that, I've gotten to learn so many wonderful things and experience so many wonderful things. So I don't know so much about intelligence as just the willingness to accept new information with a childlike wonder. If you can find that in all things that you do, life just remains interesting. Even the things that are kind of a drag, even the things that you might feel are not all that interesting, you can always get an interesting perspective from someone else, even if it's about a topic that you already are familiar with or knowledgeable on. It's one of the great joys of my life. Regularly is if somebody tells me, hey, do you know what this thing is? I'll just say no. Even if I know the thing, like, hey, have you ever heard of this fun fact, or you ever seen this thing? I'm like, no. Tell me about it. And getting to see their eyes light up when they're like, oh, cool, I get to talk about this thing that I'm excited about, and I get to fill somebody in. Like, it's not, it doesn't feel facetious to me, because what I'm saying is, no, I don't know what your perspective is. And that's what I want to hear. I don't want a recap of the thing that you're talking about. I want to hear how you interpreted it. That's something I've never seen before. That's something I've never heard. And there's only one way to get that, and that is to tell people you don't know so that they share it with you. They share all of the things that they found interesting about a certain topic or a certain event or something that they observed. So that's one of my favorite tricks, is just saying I don't know in all aspects of my life. Anyone who's heard the podcast knows that I start every podcast by saying I don't fucking know shit. But I do that not to be humble, but to open my mind to the possibility that there are things I haven't considered yet, and things that I would like to consider, and things that I would like to think about. So, yeah, if you're looking to spice up your life a little bit, just say you don't know anything. It also frees you up from having to know anything. If people just assume you know nothing, you don't get asked to do anything. I've unfortunately put myself in a position where people want to know what I'm thinking. So I got to keep thinking. I got to keep thinking out loud. And I have to make sure that when I say things, I'm not just repeating myself, or at least I'm adding on to the things that I've said before and making sure that it's interesting and making sure that it's correct too. And if it's not correct, I can at least say, hey, this is just what I think about it. And I would like you to consider this because this is something I feel strongly about. Unless, of course, it comes to like a human rights thing or something that could endanger someone's health. Obviously, I'm going to have a firm, hard line there. But everything else, I'm like, no, let's hear your perspective. Let's talk about it. Because why not? The worst thing that happens is I just leave not agreeing, and now I have some extra information I didn't have before. So this week, I want all of you to say I don't know at a certain point. Tomorrow, my podcast will be out. I don't know what it's going to be about yet. Here's me saying I don't know, because I record my podcasts right here about an hour before they arrive on Spotify and Apple, anywhere that you listen to them. I record them off the cuff. I don't have notes. I don't have anything I'm thinking about. When you put comments in the podcast questions, I got one live last week from Sarah. And during the episode, I'm like, oh shit, we got a new comment. And I just talked about it, and you stumped me. And what I did in the episode, I didn't try to make up an answer. I was just like, well, this is what I think about it. And I couldn't quite come up with the solution. And it was just an interesting exploration of the way that I think about things. So hopefully that was valuable. Just seeing me flounder, I hope, is valuable to some people. That's all. How do you maintain patience and understanding when you teach someone else? My instinct is to be like, you don't know, but I really try to be above that. Really what I would like to do in all of my interactions is learn something from the person who doesn't know, because they're processing the information I'm giving them in a completely different way than I'm capable of understanding. So I want to know how they're processing it. That's me learning from them. Everything that I do is me trying to learn from other people so that I can better help them and then they can better help me. It's like we're all learning together. I try not to go into anything with a position of authority. I don't ever want to be like, I have the ultimate answers to everything. It's like, let's work on it together. This is a team effort. Consider it a team effort when you're trying to help somebody. You're not trying to teach somebody to do something. It's like, we're going to get there together. It benefits both of us for you to know more about this thing. Friendly reminder that you wanted to rest your brain. We'd love for you to stick around, but only if you want to. I do want to. I also need to rest, but it's like I want to keep talking. I would love to have a thing where I could have a bubble up in the corner and then one of you could pop up and we could talk back and forth. That would be awesome. Maybe we could do a thing where I'm going to have to talk to Rob about it because I think he could probably set me up. I'm going to have to look into that because we could definitely do some kind of multi-stream. I would love to have it where we could talk back. I could pop people in here. Group Zoom works? Yeah, because I could probably stream Zoom into here, right? That could work. I don't know. I've got a professional Zoom account, so I think I could run that. I find it fun to be able to answer like new English speakers or people asking about the latest memes because I like studying the nuances of cultural stuff. That's always fun. And it's also fun when people say, oh yeah, my English isn't very good, but their English is perfect. And I'm just like, no, you're doing fantastic. You don't understand. Most people here in the United States, they're not even good at English. And you're doing fantastic in both. So congratulations to you being much more lingual than somebody who's already, been here and kind of didn't have to, they just got to half-ass English. Like me. I got to half-ass English. I got the easy treatment here. I just was born into it. So I know it, and that's why I'm not very good at it. But I'm going to listen to my friend Sarah, and I'm going to go, because I should. Everybody this week say, I don't know. I I want to see confirmation in the chat right now before I go from all those people who are going to say, I don't know this week. So you're going to say, I don't know. Right arm, have a great night. I guess, yeah, that's right arm, right? Yeah, right arm. Kate, like that little gift that you sent? Fantastic. Okay, everybody. Good night. You be kind to yourself. I'll be kind to myself. I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm not tired. I'm going to take a melon.